a man who knows nothing about Rick and Morty, but plenty about bricks and mortar. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on. No choice but gonna amend it. Get it on, and welcome to the show. We love that you tune in. We love that about you, right, Gina Grad?
That's right.
And Ball Brian's still out with the COVID.
Feeling better, though.
Feeling better.
A little, just more cold, fever, aches, just your traditional cold symptoms.
We have our guest right at the top, Alan Ritchson. Alan is in the new series Reacher, which premieres this Friday on Amazon Prime Video. Good to see you, Alan.
Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, there's so many series out right now. They'll let anybody act these days. It's incredible.
I was, there's a little bit of kismet because I was traveling yesterday along the 10 freeway right before it got to the 405, and I saw a big billboard and it said Reacher on it, and I was looking at it, and I was like, that's not Tom Cruise. That dude is yoked. And
you can grab that clip if you need it.
That was yesterday, and then today, here we are. So congratulations on Reacher and being yoked.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I had a lot to do with those genetics, let me tell you.
Yeah, I was also pleased to know that my very good friend, Nick Santora, was the guy show running this, writing this, executive producer, and Nick's a great writer. He's a great dude, but he's a dude's dude, right?
100%. 100%. Yeah, he's a guy's guy. But he's very talented. He's got a legacy in town right now. He's been a part of some incredible shows. Prison Break, and we're lucky to have him. But yeah, he's got some stories that he loves to tell, and it's fun doing this with him.
Yeah, next time you see him, I'm trying to think if you'll see him before I see him. We try to get him out to watch football every Sunday, but he's working on another project, and he has.
Right. Yeah, he's got 400 shows. Yeah, he's a busy guy.
I agree, but the dude has to pick a Sabbath at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But
you got to worship one of the teams. Yeah.
The running joke is that he weighs a little bit more than an adult male panda bear. So we call him Panda, but the over-under is 250 pounds on adult male panda. So when he gets under 250, he's no longer in the panda category. So if you call him Panda.
And where's he at right now on the panda scale?
Oh, God, it depends, because what happens with Santora is he's above panda. He's an adult male panda category, and then he runs himself into the ground and gets some sort of intestinal problem, and then he doesn't eat for 3 weeks, and he gets under panda.
Panda cub.
But it's really God intervening.
Right.
So how did you happen upon this role? I know people are into it because Reacher was supposed to be this big strapping dude, and you're what, 6'4"? I mean, you fit the bill.
Yeah, I'm about 6'3", 6'3.5". But in Reacher, in the first book is 6'5", 220, and it's as the myth grows about his how large he looms. He gets bigger as the series go on. He's eventually 250, 6'5". So I put on about 30 pounds for the role. So I was with boots on 6'5", 235. But this project found me. It was all the stars aligned. From streaming being the medium that we can tell these stories in these days, which is the right way to do this. Right now we're doing one book per season. So we have 8 episodes to tell the story of Killing Floor, which is the first book in the franchise. But I just came off a show on HBO called Titans. I was available. They approached me for this, and I was just very lucky to be the guy that they chose. I hadn't read the books before getting into it. When I started to realize that it was there was a good chance that I would be the guy, I started diving into the books, and I fell in love. I read 24 books in 8 months, and I'm a super fan myself. So I felt the pressure rising, both to the desire to get the part and to please the fans, which I'm one of myself. So so now I'm a super fan, and I get to have some small hand to play in this process. It's something I don't take for granted.
24 books in 8 months is prison level reading.
Yeah.
That's
full
right.
shoe.
Yeah, that's not
right.
getting
That's
laid,
right.
going out to dinner, having a good time type reading. That's in
Yeah,
the whole
well,
type
yeah,
reading.
I'm married. I'm married. I've been married for 15 years, so yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, what you just described is my life. It's
Your home
yeah.
is your prison. I get it.
Yeah,
Translated.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was a joy to read. I mean, I don't know if a book is sold every 9 seconds somewhere in the world. There's 200 million books sold. There's a reason why so many people enjoy this, and it crosses so many international borders. It's a fun character. It's a memorable character, and I couldn't put it down. It didn't feel like work at all. I enjoyed it.
It's funny. I was before the show. My producer said, he was also on American Idol. And just because of your physicality, I was like, what do you do on American Idol? Like, I was literally...
I was the bouncer. Yeah.
I was thinking, I have some spokesmodel competition or something. Like, I couldn't... Like, I was like, he can't sing. Look at him. But I guess you can sing.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
You can be two things at once. Sometimes. I can cook a mean batch of cookies too. Music was my first love. I was pursuing a degree in music theater early on before I got into the TV and film business. But I was a semifinalist on American Idol. It was my first time to LA. And just being around that kind of passion, I grew up in a military family. My parents are both vets. We were on military bases. I'd never seen any. It was as far away from me as Earth to Pluto, the celebrity or Hollywood or whatever, the arts. So it wasn't something I saw that was new for me. American Idol exposed me to the passion that a lot of these artists have, and it was infectious. So I moved out to LA after being cut in that semifinal round, and just to be around other artists and see what that's like. And I tripped into a show. I was Aquaman on Smallville just a few weeks after moving out. I got very lucky. And that opened a lot of doors for me. And I actually, just because I was a professional actor at that point, I just stayed with it, and the music sort of, evaporated. And here we are.
There's a very, the fight scenes, I was just watching the trailer, they're very gritty, realistic. I think that's kind of what people want. Maybe something around the Bourne Identity time, people went enough with crazy
Matrix.
CGI. Let's get down and dirty. But on the other hand, then that kind of means you have to do it, right?
Yeah, and I'm looking for a stunt double. If you want to jump in and take care of some of those bad guys for me, I'd love it.
Yeah, I don't think we'd look the same in an A shirt, but we can give it. I'll talk, but true, I know Santora, so I did. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to do it. Of course, following on the heels of a living legend like Tom. Mr. Cruise is one of the best, has one of the most incredible work ethics of anybody, and is famous for performing all his own stunts. So, it's not lost on me that, I would be, although I don't feel worthy of this, mentioned in the same sentence as him. I still want to give the fans the kind of experience that they may be used to. And it was very important to me that I do all my own stuff. So we spent a few months training for that. And, I was working with Buster Reeves, the stunt coordinator. He's done some incredible stuff. Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight as the fight design for Batman, and doubling Bale and, Bane, and he's done some incredible work. So for us to have him, the team that I was surrounded by was just, it was overwhelming the first time I saw that first prison fight. You demonstrated for me, and it was the first time in my career I thought to myself, I don't know if I can do this. It's too good. Where did you shoot?
We were in Toronto, which also doubles as rural Georgia, if you didn't know. Rural Georgia or Manhattan, or just about, everything shoots in Toronto now. So they've got some great crews up there. It's a good place to be for projects. So we were there, and we did a lot of driving out to the countryside. I did in about 4 months. My driver put 30,000 kilometers on her car. So we were, we spent some time traveling to those sets, but it was great. I mean, I think the way it turned out, it's phenomenal.
How's your family, if they're still around, mom and dad, having the military background Is this, they think it's folly? Are they supportive? What's their take on this?
Yeah, I thought you were talking about my wife and kids, which after my prison joke, they're probably not around, which I deserve. But my parents are still with us. They are, my dad's retired now. He retired as a chief master sergeant in the Air Force, and then he was a civilian contractor for a while. He's now fully retired and enjoying yard work as he very much deserves. My relationship with them has been interesting because I grew up in a very, very strict Catholic home. My mom is very conservative, and God bless her. She's a saint. She's one of my heroes. I love her. But she hasn't always agreed with my career choices. And, I think many of your audience may know me better as Thad Castle from Blue Mountain State, which is, an absolutely insane, rather villainous linebacker for a corrupt college football team. And, it sets the bar for the dream that many high schoolers, think about for going to college, as a frat guy. I mean, it was pure insanity. And she refused to watch it. She refused to support it. She's, all but disowned me during that season of my life. And I respect that. I mean, those are her beliefs. She wanted nothing to do with it. She wanted to distance herself from it. I even produced a film for Lionsgate based on the show when we were canceled on Spike, a network few had heard of, our first original scripted show. It had done well enough to do 3 seasons, but we were canceled, and Lionsgate sold it to Netflix, which at the time, nobody knew who Netflix was. This was very much in their beginning stages. And, we had heard it happen, and we're like, oh, great. We're like on one of those computer stations now, like even better. And Netflix exploded, as did our show. And, after doing the show for 3 years, nobody knew who I was or what we were doing. And all of a sudden it's canceled and on Netflix, and I can't walk out of the house. I was on a hike in the middle of a mountain in South Africa, and I had about 15 people stop me and my oldest son. Thad, can I get a picture of that? Like, I get a picture. It sounds more Irish.
That's good Afrikaans.
Enough.
But Afrikaans is impossible to replicate. But, he's like, why are they stopping you? I'm like, Hannah, it's got to be this Netflix show. And so I went to Lionsgate, and I begged them for the rights to make a film, and I did. So, having some ownership in that, I put we had 3 premieres. One of the premieres I put back in my hometown for a lot of people that supported me during that process. And she wouldn't come to she didn't come to the premiere.
Wow.
And I was like, man, can you at least see and appreciate the work that I put into this? Or, she didn't go. My dad, however, thinks it's the funniest damn thing he's ever seen in his life. And he's a huge fan of what I've been doing and a big supporter of my work. So, there's this, I come from a split household, strangely, and I can't understand why now she's on board. But, I screened some episodes for them, and she thinks it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. So I'm fine. Look, better late than never, but this is like the first thing she's ever watched of mine. And, I'm happy to have Mom on board, but they're around, and they're huge supporters of what I've been doing, and now huge fans of Reacher.
Oh, that's awesome. But, just a quick correction. I don't think you come from a split household. I think you split the household. Because
that's right. Yeah,
if you just joined the Marines, you wouldn't come from a split household. So
right, you're
a little ownership.
We got internalized a little bit there for splitting the household. I'm sure you got a younger brother or kid sister that didn't split any households because they just went to work for Starbucks.
That's absolutely right. Far less controversial.
So, and I know you did your Kickstarter thing for that, and I'm reading here, you superimposed himself into a Kimmel Show interview. I never saw that.
It's worth a watch. What's funny is, just to explain, during the process of trying to raise awareness of the Blue Mountain State film that we were making, we wanted to sort of test audiences and see, are we right about there being, being life here? And we opened up a Kickstarter, and at the time, I think it was one of the highest grossing Kickstarters for a film that there had ever been. So it was overwhelmingly successful in that regard. But we came up with very creative ways to build awareness. And one of the ways we did that was by filming a fake Kimmel interview, because of course he doesn't know who I am. He's not going to have us on. So we cut pieces of other interviews, and I shot mine on a green screen. We comped it together, and you can't, from a filmic cinematic perspective, you can't tell that it's not a real interview. It looks like I'm there, but it's the most awkward. The timing is a little off. The intonation and inflection is just a little, something's not right. And then I'm also playing this character who's a complete moron. And people have seen that now, and they don't know that they can't figure out that it's not real, and they think I'm the worst interview in the history of interviews. Well, so I think I shot myself in the foot there, but I think it's the funniest thing. I think it's the funniest thing in the world.
Well,
Thad Castle being on Kimmel.
Should we watch a minute of it?
Oh, please do. Yeah, please. It's hilarious.
And you picked the right talk show host, because if there's one person that would appreciate this, it would be Jimmy.
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday.
Yeah. Hopefully.
I'm glad you did. And
wow, that's good.
I guess the first question I should ask is, who are you wearing?
Oh, well, most of my clothes come from behind the Goodwill Donation Center. So I'm not real sure.
Yeah. Is that,
it works.
Is that a new grill you have there?
This is a all porcelain grill.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I don't know if you know this, a lot of people think you're a jerk.
It's pretty much proven I'm not a jerk, Jimmy. That's really one thing I wanted to clear up. People can think I'm a jerk. People can think I'm a nice guy. People can think whatever they want. I'm not going to think that in a few months when I go #1 in the draft and I'm a billionaire, I can make anybody I want suck my balls.
I mean, I know a lot of people, most people maybe even think this is some publicity stunt that you and I cooked up. But this isn't, right?
F you, Jimmy. This is no publicity stunt. It's official. On April 15th, 2014, I am launching my own Kickstarter campaign to finance Blue Mountain State the movie. A Kickstarter movie starring me, Thad Castle. Also directed by me, also written by me, also sound captured by me.
Well, I just do want to say congratulations on your new baby.
No one's supposed to know about it, Jimmy.
Oh, okay. All right.
Wow.
Eerie.
I haven't seen that since we made that. That's I still think that's hysterical. Oh my God.
It's funny. Tonally, that character seems modeled after Mark Wahlberg in Boogie Nights. That's how he sounded in Boogie Nights. He was up a little bit of an octave. He had a kind of sincerity.
Right.
Yep, a little excitable.
Sincere and volatile.
Equally is hung by a horse, Jimmy.
That's
equally.
Right. Hung by a horse. That is.
Yeah, but I mean, so people think I'm a complete moron, and rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Did you just watching it? I mean, it looked perfect. And, of course, you did the green screen thing. Did you impose you and the chair you were in as well onto
the chair. Yeah, so we got our own chair. So the chair and I were real, and everything else was imposed on green screen.
Oh my God!
Crazy.
Yeah,
the eye line was perfect.
Camera tricks easy.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it worked. It worked. It worked. And I should regret it, because now the very slim chance I get on Kimmel at any point to make it right.
Well,
but no, it's it was fun. It was fun, and it served its purpose.
The mini applause break for saying "suck my balls" is chef's kiss amazing.
I don't know if you've considered the theatrical version of this, and I don't know if Cruise is coming back. I don't know if they're making another one, but in a world where superhero or action heroes get swapped out all the time, is there any thoughts about the next theatrical version of Reacher where you become Jack Reacher in the theatrical version?
I don't. First of all, let me just say, Tom Cruise is a living legend. He's a film icon. I grew up watching him. I revere his work. I hope to be able to put half the passion that he puts into his characters on screen. he's incredible. He brought so many millions of eyes to this franchise that wouldn't otherwise have known about the books. So, I'm the beneficiary of some of the awareness that he's brought to this. But I don't believe that feature film is the right medium to tell these stories. It's not enough time to cover one book. And, it would be wrong, I think, to try and break one book into several features. There's that would be rather capitalistic of us. And I don't think that's what we're trying to do. We're benefiting from the times that we're in, where streaming is a legitimate medium to tell these kinds of stories. And, having 8 episodes to cover Killing Floor, the first of the books, it's the right way to do it. It doesn't linger too long, and it gives you just enough that you're incredibly satisfied by the end.
That's the first thing I was thinking was when you said you're doing a book a season. I'm like, oh, that's perfect. Because you really do get to explore a lot of that. And for the hardcore fans, of the book, there's not going to be all that pissing and moaning on Reddit about, oh, they missed this and they missed that, like there are with movies, because there's just not enough time. Right.
Yeah. An interesting thing that we sort of discovered as we went along was, the books, there's significant plot points that are all in there. The characters are all there. It's a faithful adaptation, but a picture tells 1,000 words. So we have the luxury of actually like adding some dimension to some of those ancillary characters, the supporting cast, and it breathed a new kind of life in. I mean, yes, the adaptation is fantastic, but it's so seamlessly integrated with a little more complexity to other people's stories, because the books really live inside Reacher's head. I think the books are fantastic. I'm a huge fan, but this show stands apart on its own. Whether you've read the books or not, you'll enjoy it as fantastic TV. It's developed. It's well developed. We have the luxury of kind of painting with it, an even more specific brush than Lee had by living inside Reacher's head. So really, we benefit from adapting this to this format.
There's a lot of comedy, at least in the trailer, and I know Nick, who's kind of an action guy, really sort of half comedy guy. I mean, he gets lost in the action a little bit, but he's got to, take it from a comedian. He's got a great, he can turn a phrase. He's got a great sense of humor. He's super self-deprecating. And his scripts are funny, even though they're filled with ass kicking and intrigue and all the other stuff. Is there a lot more comedy in this than there would be in the original series or books?
Yeah, and comedy is almost too broad a word to use, because I'm sure, as you know, there's so many different flavors and brands of comedy. I mean, what we just saw in that Kimmel spoof, I mean, that's a very big cartoonish kind of comedy. And that's something that I was known for a long time. The Reacher comedy is something entirely different. It's very grounded and dry and sardonic. But if you're keeping pace with us and with him intellectually, it's really funny. I mean, I didn't realize before getting into the books that there was like laugh out loud moments. I mean, I found the books to be rather comedic, but in I guess a more sophisticated way. So I don't want people to think after what they just saw that like we're trying to be some kind of like we're friends or something. I mean, it's a different kind of comedy, but yeah, I mean, Reacher's got a great sense of humor, and most of that is born out of the fact that he's kind of one step ahead of everybody. So it gives him the ability to be a smartass and toy with people, and that's a lot of fun to watch on screen. The first phone call that I had with Don Granger from Skydance, who's been a part of this for decades, and has really championed Reacher, and this is his baby in a lot of ways. And Nick Santora, the showrunner, the first conversation I had was, is this going to have a sense of humor? Because it shows that take themselves too seriously, to me, drive me nuts. I can't. Protagonists that take themselves too seriously, like life is not that way. We experience all the flavors throughout the course of one day, the highs and the lows of life. And I like seeing all those genres sort of blended in a way. And we get that. And Nick, we were always aligned. I never had to argue with anybody about it. He was, he sent me the scripts, and they were full of humor and levity. And I think that's one of the things that people are going to love the most. It's one of the things I enjoy the most reading the books. And the fact that it's such a fun ride is important. And I think people are going to enjoy it.
Last question, Alan. What are you working on now? What's next? What's in the pipeline?
Yeah, thanks. So I got a really cool project coming up. It's a unique, it's never really been done before what we're doing. It's using technology to advance cinematic storytelling.
Do you need Kimmel back?
I will need Kimmel. Yeah, we'll need to raise some serious money for this one. So yes, we need to do a lot of Kimmels with that. So I can't say yet, but I'm very excited about it. Really just talking about Reacher. We've spent the last couple of years bringing this to life and trying to get this right. And there are a lot of fans waiting for this, and with high hopes, and I share in that. So, I'm just talking about this as much as I can. I want to shout it from the rooftops. I believe in it.
Well, if you're ever in LA, come by and say hi, because
I would love to. And I want to see that car collection of yours I've heard so much about.
Well, I do own Tom Cruise's fire suit and his helmet.
No way.
Absolutely.
No way.
From when he used to race with Paul Newman in the late 80s. And if you want to blow up the internet, Alan, they have to think about this. But mind you, I can get to Kimmel. We can put you on the show. I could make that happen.
Okay, good.
You've never been on Kimmel?
No, I got to redeem myself.
Yeah.
I got to redeem myself.
I have the record for most appearances on Kimmel, so I feel like everyone on the planet lands somewhere in between you and I. But I literally have Tom Cruise's fire suit, and a fire suit is pretty much a onesie for adults. And the thing about the racing fire suit is they got to fit.
Snug.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not, you can't have your sleeve hanging past your hand like Dopey, It's like you get the size.
I see where this is going.
That fits you.
I see where this is going.
And it's, you think about Cruise's stature not being huge, but when you see the fire suit hung up on the wall, you go, wow, that looks like it's for my, teenage son.
Right.
If we put Alan into that fire suit, the internet would explode.
Just filming him getting into it, we'd have to play yakety sax.
Oh, it would be awesome. The guns poking through, the pecs pushing across.
Right.
They would look like.
Have you put it on? Have you tried to squeeze into it?
No, because I'm 6'2". Like I've looked at it. I've been like, there's no. I can barely fit in the suits I race in just because you put on 10 pounds and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, I can't get the zipper up. Like they're made. They're fire suits.
Sew you in there,
You're sewn in there. So if you're ever in LA, I do have his actual one and only fire suit from when he's got his name on it, all the sponsors. It's when he ran with Newman. And, Reacher trying to get into the old Reacher's fire suit.
That's pretty good.
That could look pretty damn good.
Although Alan should have you sign a waiver that when he goes full Hulk in it, you don't get pissed.
Yeah, like when
I don't want to. If I tear a seam, you're going to make me pay for it.
No. We'll take care of it. But I'll send you a picture of it off the air. I think you'll get. You know what? I'll throw a tape on it.
Yes.
And take a picture, like when you catch a marlin on the dock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll hang it upside down.
I hooked me a Tom Cruise.
That's right. Now that's an accent. Alan Ritchson, thank you very much. I'll send you that picture. You'll get a laugh out of it.
Thanks.
Give my love to Nick.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Much
love.
I
will. Thank you very much.
Reacher's the name of the show this Friday on Amazon Prime Video. And as if that wasn't good enough, everything Santora does is top shelf. So it's going to be a great, great show. All right. Let me hit concrete over here. Creatine is clinically proven to not just power muscles, but also T cells, which are key to good health. They're the first responders to your immune system. Concrete, patented creatine, HCl, is the #1 bioavailable creatine. All the strength and endurance benefits of creatine without the negative side effects like cramps and diarrhea. It's the only creatine females should use. No water retention, no bloat. Your body only makes half the creatine it needs. The other half is supposed to come from diet, but most American diets are low in creatine-rich foods. Get this stuff. I'm on it. Drew's on it. Drew's like, oh, yeah. And Drew's like, he's normally like, you don't need this, you don't need that. No, he's like, you need creatine. Start your New Year's resolution, do it off right, amplify your workouts, burn those extra holiday calories while protecting yourself. It's concrete. Right, Dawson?
Optimize your health and fitness, your body and mind. Build a better you with Concrete. And if you register now at concrete.com/podcast, you can win a free membership to Planet Fitness for an entire year plus a $500 Walmart Visa gift card. That's con-cret.com/podcast to be one of multiple winners. And Concrete is now available online and in-store at Walmart. Concrete is truly changing fitness and health.
Well, back by popular demand, Brian Whitman in studio right after this.
And now, Alcoa presents Definitely Not a Jew on the Adam Carolla Show. Dateline, Thetford, Vermont. A 55-year-old motorist was charged with fleeing the scene of a crash after he sideswiped a Vermont State Police car. The man was distracted while driving because he was on the internet looking up a specific episode of Saved by the Bell. Definitely not a Jew.
Radio veteran Brian Whitman is in studio, and not even old, just a veteran.
Yeah.
Started at age 13.
Yeah, I started. Hi, by the way. Hi, guys. Adam,
Hi.
Gina, everybody, hi. Yeah, no, I started really young. I loved radio as a kid. I know that some young people saw television and they wanted, whether it be Johnny Carson or Jack Benny or Jack Parr or Arsenio or whomever it was, or you, and they wanted to see. I do that. It's important, and they wanted to do that. They wanted to be on television. That was the medium that attracted them for whatever reason. For me, it was radio. I heard it, and I just kind of thought, oh, wow. I can tell you my dad used to pick up my brother and me from school in an old wood-paneled station wagon. My dad had a comb over. I looked like my dad. My dad was better looking. My dad had the hair combed over forever until we intervened. A family's got to do what a family's got to do. And
She intervened by rolling the windows down in the Woody.
you know what? This is so funny. He wouldn't roll the windows down because he didn't want it. Like
Yeah.
he didn't want
Coif to be messed
But
up.
it's like, Dad, we all know you quite well. We know that you're bald. So if you're going to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes between the house and school, can you crack the window so that we could, kind of maybe get a little oxygen back here before kindergarten?
Right.
But he was a stud, and he did not want to show any weakness to the kid. So it was an airtight kind of vacuum capsule of nicotine. And that was not always pleasant. But what was pleasant is Howard Stern would be on the radio in the afternoon, especially when he'd pick us up from school. And
Where were you at this point? What city?
Staten
Oh,
Island?
Staten Island,
Staten
New York,
Island,
10312, Annandale on Staten Island, PS 36, actually. And my brother and I would get in the car, and my dad had the radio, of course, which only had AM, which is a high praise for performers on AM. I only have AM. And we'd hear Howard. I would hear Howard saying something maybe outrageous. And my dad would sort of lunge and go, forgetting that the kids are now in the car. And he would turn it off. And I only wanted to hear it after he did that.
Can I ask a probing psychological question? And I will graft myself onto this. I, too, was very interested in the radio. And I wanted to be heard, but I didn't really want to be seen. And I felt that way my whole career. I've done a lot of TV, but I would much rather have done radio. The TV's like, well, I didn't not want to do it. I didn't want to do it. I just it was. And that's what happens when you get a show on Comedy Central.
I'll take your word.
You're just there. But I thought it's weird when you're young and you're listening to Dr. Demento and you're listening to all the DJs, and on the FM side of the aisle, I'm listening to KMET and all their jocks, and on the AM, I'm listening to Dr. Viscott and Michael Jackson from South Africa, a white guy, and psychologists and doctors and stuff. And I'm like, but shouldn't I have had dreams of being on stage in front, on the big screen? Like, isn't that where the dream is? And then I realized I was sort of convinced by my family that my aesthetic wasn't good. Okay. Not because they told me it wasn't good. I was just sort of invisible. So in my mind, I was like, well, no one wants to see you, but maybe they would want to hear your ideas. The part where you show up and, you're good looking and you look good in your suit, that's not going to work anywhere. So, but your words may work. Now, was there like an aesthetic thing that was running in your family? Did you feel invisible? Did you feel attractive?
I didn't. I can't say I really felt at home. Did I feel attractive, physically attractive?
Was your mom attractive?
My mom was very hot, and I have to say, no, I never felt physically. I really never thought about being physically attractive to the others in the home. That would be my dad, my mom, and my brother.
No, I mean,
but to your point,
did they
acknowledge?
Like I'll give you an example.
Yes.
One of the first earlier girlfriends I had, I remember, showed up to my dad's house for Thanksgiving, scoured the house, counted like 57 photographs, none with me in the photographs, So little things like no photos of you around. They're little quiet reminders that maybe you're not the most attractive kid on the block.
My childhood was a little different. My parents put photos around, and I was in them, and I hated seeing myself. I would look and go,
Good. That's what it is. That's what gave way to radio.
Right. So I went, and then I went, that's kind of funny. If I could be funny without and get beyond the feeling that maybe people don't want to look at me, well then, oh my gosh, the radio's for me. Listen to these guys, and they're fun and and accessibility of radio also. Because I do remember the first time I called a radio station at WNBC in New York. It was the middle of the day.
How old were you?
I was probably embryonic at that point. Mm-hmm. No, I think I was 11. I think I was 11 the first time I ever called a station. At 13, I called a station and did impressions, and they said, well, come to the station. And that's when I really started doing stuff. But I remember I called the request line, and the disc jockey who did middays answered the phone. Mm-hmm. And I could hear his voice, NBC. And I'm like, oh, wow, are you the man who's on? And he said, yeah, man, what do you want? And I found it amazing that, oh my gosh, I'm calling and I can get the guy who's on the air on the phone.
Right.
So it is so accessible. And it was so accessible. It felt so accessible to me. So that certainly drew me closer.
So from there, you get hooked up. And by the way, I just love Chris. I'm going to ask you to look for something because it popped in my head when Alan brought up Kimmel earlier. But I had a text exchange with him yesterday, and it was funny. I don't know, kismet or not, but the other day it was really like 2 days ago. I was thinking about one of the first things Jimmy showed me in 1994 when he was doing radio, and I was trying to get into radio, was a tape of this preacher, this deep cable preacher, and he'd God is passing through me, and he'd go, and make a face, and then they superimposed a fart sound.
Oh, good
over
stuff.
Every time he made that squeezed face.
There you go.
A fart sound would kick in.
It's good radio.
In 1994, Jimmy was showing me this, and I was laughing my ass off. And then the next day, he was explaining that he was listening to Howard Stern, and Howard Stern had the farter guy on, and he was like, Howard said, Adam laughs. I laugh my ass off on any fart guy. So I'm thinking about this early farting tape on a Monday, and then on a Tuesday, Jimmy's writing, Faves, all this farting going on. I was thinking of you. And I don't know how the universe works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
You tell me if this has anything to do with anything. It's going to sound stupid, but back to the great magnet. I'm an atheist, but I'm great magnety. Mm. I was the media van pulled up to the house yesterday evening, and I was going to do a hit on Hannity. And there was a young girl who drives the van. She's in charge of they have a makeup person, then they got the girl who drives the van. She puts the ear thing in.
Hannity Street Patrol.
That's right. She hooks
Sticker
up.
Squad.
She hooks up the mic. She's the van person.
Right.
I'm not the van. She's the media van person, not the party patrol van.
Right.
And they now really figured out that, like back in the day, They had a couple of remote studios. One was like by the airport, Burbank. The other was like in Culver City. You have to go to the place. Now they realize bring the mountain to Muhammad. We'll just take one of those Sprinter vans with the backdrop, put a chair there, patch the thing in. They just come to your house. So I'm talking to her, and she's like a 25-year-old kind of hip chick, tells me she's Pescopalian or something. She eats fish.
Pescatarian.
Pescatarian. I don't know.
Pescopalian.
Episcopalian would be
Episcopalian, pescatarian. I got to ask what everything
She
is.
could be a pescatarian, Episcopalian.
And so she goes, I'm thinking about getting like an old BMW convertible. That's the car I want. I said, now she's 25, so to her old is a 2000.
Right.
Classic.
Right. That's still got the new car smell for me, but for her, that's an old car, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, but that's it's going to be some maintenance. Like, I don't want to be the bummer. Like, I kept going, definitely do it, but just understand that water pump's going in the first 3 weeks.
You think she realizes it?
And then I paused and I said, look, if you're going old school BMW, get a late 60s, early 70s BMW 2002. That's the model. That's not the year. That's the model. It's like a 320i.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, I said, go old school. Get a Beamer. Get an old school Beamer. Yeah. I race with these guys. The guys I race with in the B sedan, I won't bore you, but there's a lot of 2002 BMWs, 68, 69. They're great cars. They're cool. If you're going to go vintage, go full vintage and get through the. And so I was like walking out of the van. It was like 7 at night. And she goes, yeah, I'll check it out. And I'm like, 2002 BMW? I said, no. A BMW 2002 from 1969. Just go look it up. Like, it's cool. They're out there. If you want to go old school, go old school. You can fix it yourself.
Yeah, right.
And she goes, okay. And I literally stopped and went, you're going to do it, right, babe? She's like 25. I was like, look it up. She's like, I'm going to look into this.
Okay.
12 hours later, I'm driving in. I'm going down the 405 in a full-dressed race 69 BMW 2002 on the back of a trailer. Just pulls up right next to me all the way down the 405. I've never seen one out on the road. It's an exotic. I mean, it's not exotic, but they're not out. They're not anywhere. And I was like looking at this 2002 going, what is this? How did I bring this?
Yeah,
did I bring this into my world? Did I summon it?
But it was not. That was not the new Sean Hannity media van. Like Hannity guests were not in the back.
No.
Mark Levin, how you doing? Mark Levin's in the back of the. I want to talk about the Constitution. What's going on here? I mean, we got the. It's a great ride.
Mark Levin.
It's a brand new BMW. Well, no, it's not. It's not. No. Come on, let not your heart. Who has? It's not from 2002. That's the model.
Who has more glasses movement than Mark Levin? If you ever see Mark Levin on TV, the glasses are coming off.
That's right.
Then they're going back on. He's one of the few guys who takes the glasses off to read the Constitution, then it goes down, then the glasses come back on again.
Counterintuitive.
Glasses off to read the text, glasses on to analyze. That's odd.
Right. But my thing is just leave the glasses at home because I need my glasses to read the text, but not to talk to the camera.
And as someone who believes in universal health care, people should have these glasses. You got the glasses, you read with them. Now, sometimes I watch cable news and I think glasses. That's right, medical tools, whatever, vision aids. They're being used as props.
Yeah.
Because you can make the point that somebody doesn't understand how the average American family lives and survives, and you can do it if you're whipping your glasses around on your hand.
That's
and
right.
You can put them back on in your head, or you can do the old end of the glasses right in the soup cooler as I think about what a vicious communist you are.
You're right.
You can't really believe that.
Our glasses... Men's glasses are essentially women's long hair. When they get to fling it, they fling it out.
Harvey Weinstein's wheelchair. He didn't really need it.
Right.
I mean, he could separate himself from it if indeed there was something more important to achieve.
But boy, did it sway an audience.
Well, it had its moments.
Yeah.
We have Pastor Gas.
Oh, my God.
Robert Tilton. That I have not seen.
I've seen this guy.
Since I was in Jimmy's
700 Club.
Jimmy's rental house in Reseda in 1994.
This is a 700 Club guy.
Oh, okay.
Two will see the glory of God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And my word will not return void, and it will go to that which it was sent. Oh, yeah. And it will prosper. And now listen to this. You go a little further. You get the one, God's for you. You get, he's with you. And then the last biggie, God's in you. Wow, man. But learning how to release your faith.
Doing tongues.
I just heard the Lord say, it is a spirit. And bread for eating will also provide and multiply. Oh, that's the opening of the windows of heaven. And he was eating steak and having water from the brook and bread, fresh cooked bread. Smell that bread right now. Hallelujah. I can smell that bread right now.
Oh, yeah.
And Jimmy's like waving around a VHS tape.
Yeah.
I'm 29. He's like, you got to see this. Have you guys all seen this?
I've not seen that version.
I've seen him. I've never seen the farts in it. I mean, I watched him for spiritual strength.
Yeah, guidance.
And I'm offended. I watched him so that when I couldn't get to service during the week, I could get a little bit of the word from him.
Well,
and I'm offended.
It was weird that I was sitting and thinking about that. I have not thought of it in 28 years, and somehow I was just sitting around thinking about that tape, and then Jimmy hits me the next day with a bunch of farting stuff.
Right.
Because that
and
what
the
you
BMW 2002. Yeah. How does this work? Am I summoning it?
I think it's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
Do you want to be, I know it's the kind of, Adam's Adam, but do you want to be the guy that everyone thinks of when they think of farts? Because I was just thinking of you.
It's also a very high hill to climb.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think, I don't know, maybe Chris can look. I couldn't tell from Jimmy's text to me, but I was either in the studio and he may have been replaying it, Stern was, and I was actually in studio laughing.
It's been 28 years. It's as funny a moment ago as it was 28 years ago.
The fart stuff is timeless.
It's just forever with us.
It's not like 70s architecture.
I understand that.
It just keeps giving.
Right. It's always with us, and it doesn't ever go away and come back, so it never goes away.
The last time we were in here, I was laughing mightily at you and Rick D's, and me and my David Viscott. I can do a Dr. David Viscott because nobody knows what he sounds like.
Well, but you nail it. And by the way, Rick, forgive me, would be furious about that. Please, no body function. No body function. I hate body function humor, please.
But Rick.
No.
Rick. You invented Heine wine.
Well,
that's your bit.
Yeah, but
Heine wine. Isn't that just as scatological as a preacher farting? I used to hear you do right before 78 degrees.
Okay, all right, great. But I don't do it anymore. And I did Heine wine from the Heine Winery, and of course, from it was from Premier Radio. I bought that. God dang it! But I don't want to do poo poo caca. I don't want to do poo-poo caca.
I can remember sitting in my truck in the 90s listening to Heine wine bits.
Okay.
I mean, does that make you a hypocrite?
Well, I mean, if it does, then when Rick would clear the throat, he was pissed. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Maybe I am a hypocrite, but that's okay. I mean, I'm losing money in 70 different countries. Ha, 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 ha. Look, please just help me out. Good God almighty. You're all babies.
Hold on. Ellen K., would you side with me?
Oh, you will.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh, no, you will.
Well, I think it's funny. I think our audience thinks it's funny. I think the demo is right for it.
Oh, Ellen, God love you. That's also another. God love you means brace, get ready. God love you. But you only need me. Okay, this is true. One
Chris,
day,
find a Heine wine.
From Heine wine. He would, one day, I mean, if we strip it all away, I mean, God bless Enrique Iglesias, kind of shade him out for a moment. Mm-hmm. And Ellen, love what you do. Yeah. Imagine for a moment you're not here. And everybody, Magic Matt and everything, it's just Rick D's and a microphone.
Ultimately, that's what it is. God dang it, I'm so angry.
But Rick, it's not just you and the microphone. You need the crutches.
Well,
you need the bits.
well,
you need the D's Grease and the Heine wines.
What I need is Animal Tales. And, of course, Animal Tales at 7:10. Don't forget Animal Tales right here at KISS. Remember, wherever you go, there you are. Naval Observatory time, if you can, 7:19, right here at KISS.
Rick, isn't there a character you do that's like a homeless guy?
Yeah, where is he coming in here? But anyway, we have coming up dinner for four at Tony Roma's, and they're going out of business. Gosh.
All right, yeah, how you doing, yeah, Billy?
Willard Wiseman, what are you doing in?
All right, I just came by.
He's the homeless guy?
Willard, you know, I'm in the middle of a show. I have $1 million to get.
All right, yeah, buddy. I'll roll you out like wholesale carpet, man.
Okay, Willard. Oh, gosh. God, Willard, don't fart.
All right. I don't believe I farted again. I'm really wise, man. I think I had a...
Willard, come on now. Ellen, you don't act that... You know what? I can't do it. I just can't do it.
All right there, buddy.
Wasn't Ellen Kay married to somebody famous?
Well, yeah, the general manager of the station, Roy. They're still married, by the way. They're still, but you know that didn't work out. I mean, it works out for them. They're wonderful, but it puts Rick Dees in a weird spot.
Real pickle.
I mean, you know, come on. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, good God Almighty. But I just love what I do.
You want to do a little Rick Dees coming in for a therapy session with Dr. David Viscott?
Yeah, no, I like that a lot.
Viscott, again, he's a guy I listen to. He's a guy my grandmother listened to. He's a guy my family, my stepdad used to listen to him.
Sure.
He was a fixture on AM radio, probably KBC out here.
Yeah.
Made his way into a syndicated late night talk show, kind of one-on-one therapy show.
And then daytime, he had one on the daytime.
Had some crazy sweaters. Kind of molded the Simpsons kind of therapist character, you know, Be the Boy or whatever that episode was. That was kind of David Viscott. Probably had a decade on KBC and then sort of faded and then sort of... I guess he died at a fairly early age.
Well, then he met Rick Dees on the fade, and I feel I feel terrible about that. Gosh, but he was wonderful. Every Wednesday we had him on, and David, I love you.
So, Rick, you're coming into David Viscott's private practice here.
Okay.
Rick Dees, my friend. Yes, please have a seat.
Please, David, call me Rig. Because my name is Rigdon, R-I-G-D-O-N, Rigdon Osmondes the Third.
Yeah.
And my friend,
hold on.
I
have your insurance paperwork here.
Is there a problem with my PPO or something?
No, but please, we're into the session, my friend.
Oh, it's number one.
Go ahead and sit down on the sofa there, please.
Can I stand?
My friend.
Okay, no, you know what, I'll sit. But
well, let's examine that exchange. I asked you to sit, please, in my office.
Yes.
You wanted to stand.
Well.
What was that?
It's,
right there.
It's discomfort.
Go back.
Well, it's physical discomfort.
What was that?
Well, because when I sit, then I have a fuller tummy. And I was the fattest kid in the third grade. And I'd rather stand and look lean.
Stop. Wait. What was that? Go back.
Okay, to the door?
No. Go back to where you were emotionally, my friend.
Emotionally, I was vulnerable. And right now, I feel...
But yet you wouldn't comply with my demands.
Well, it's not that I wouldn't comply. I mean,
stop.
David,
Wait. What was that? You wouldn't comply? Always a negative.
Well, okay. I'm happy to comply right here.
My friend, I've listened to your show.
Great.
I've heard the Heine wine bit.
You listen to my show. You're the one.
My friend, it's only a 50-minute session.
That is great.
We're 8 minutes in. We've gotten nowhere.
Okay.
We're arguing over you sitting.
Oh, I'm not arguing, David. I'm trying to get well.
My friend, if you're going to stand, then I'm going to stand.
Okay, I'll sit.
All right, then I'm standing.
Well, now, David, that's a little
passive-aggressive there, baby.
Don't go into characters, my friend.
Well,
Stop. Wait. What was that? Why'd you feel the need to go into a character?
Well, that was Willard Wiseman. And he's Wise-Knack.
Right.
And,
my friend, we're not...
Boom, Bob.
We're in my studio.
Boom, Bob. Johnny Carson.
What is that with the sheep?
Rick, whatever, going back to that.
Okay.
My friend...
I have to sit down, David.
This is my studio.
God. Everybody's got one now. Yeah. God almighty.
This is where I work.
Great.
Okay, my friend?
Great.
All right, I'm going to stand.
Okay.
All right. Now tell me about Heine wine.
Well, from the, Heine wine is a great product.
Stop, wait.
You could have your Heine at work.
Yeah.
You could have your Heine in the morning. You could have your Heine with breakfast or your Heine with lunch.
Stop, wait. Go back, my friend. What was
Big
that?
Red and Thor are the manufacturers. Big Red and Thor. They produce Heine wine.
My friend.
And I don't know if it's a good time to tell you about Heine wine, but why not? They've got an all-new package for summertime. Get a lot of Heine this summer.
My friend, the mics aren't hot in this studio. It's just you and I.
Well, I certainly hope there's not microphones in your clinical office.
What was that?
That was a live read.
Right there.
Heine wine.
Go back.
It's a pleasure. Yeah.
Go back.
Okay. Am I standing or sitting or am I comfortable?
Squat, my friend.
Squat? I love to do squats.
I'll meet you in the middle.
I had Dan Isaacson, who is really...
I don't know that name, my friend.
Well, let me tell you, he is the physical fitness guru to
I'm
the
going to
stars.
take my sweater off.
And okay, great.
Thank
you know
God I wear a cardigan.
What I would love to do is I have a brand new Kiss Balls of Summer T-shirt underneath my button down, and I'm a little warm, so I'll take my collared shirt off.
My
That's
friend,
great.
I
love it.
I'm
I
not
just
a
love it.
listener. I'm not a fan. I'm a therapist.
Well, they're not listeners either, David. They're people.
Ellen Kay and her man sent you in here for a reason, my friend.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
Okay.
There's issues on the air.
Yeah, it's like don't tell Grandpa.
Stop.
Don't tell Grandpa that we're sending him in for therapy.
Hold on. What was that?
Well, that was Grandpa's me. They treat me like Grandpa. Don't tell Grandpa that he's going in, he's going to be psychoanalyzed.
Stop,
I mean,
wait.
he thinks he's dropping off Snooki's cookies to caller 102, and it's a Freudian nightmare.
My friend, what was
Good
that
God
right
in
there?
heaven.
Stop, wait. Go forward this time.
Okay, I don't want to be here in 20 minutes.
Okay, my friend. We're going to ask you.
I don't want to be here.
All right, my friend.
I don't want to do this, David Viscott. You're wonderful and I love you. But if you can help me, I need so much of it. Please try to get to Johnny Vega.
Why is it always about helping you, my friend? Maybe if I did a segment on your show, I could kickstart my career.
Well, I'd love to have you. He is a psychiatrist, not a psychologist. Dr. David Viscott, right here at KISS. Let's do Wednesday mornings. I would love it. I would love that. And people
8 a.m. hour, my friend?
8 a.m. is fine. 8 a.m. is fine. Please get with Johnny Vega, who will book you, and he's going to, he'll put together the one sheet for me. The jokes, the scatological humor. I don't want to do that. I just don't want to do that.
So yet you conceived of Heine wine.
David, it's rigged ease. It's all I've ever done my whole life. Don't you want a big old Heine at night, David?
What was that?
Well, I'm selling the product, but it's also a
Stop,
joke.
wait.
It's also a
No,
joke.
right there.
I'm explaining.
Go back.
It's also a joke. Now, David, if I would love to help you with
Is Dee's your real name?
It is. It is. And Rigdon is my first name, but you don't call me Rig, but Rig becomes Rick Dees right here at KISS FM. Oh, that was great.
My friend.
Oh, David, you were considering that was sexy.
My friend, let's skip ahead to the end of the session.
Yes. Oh,
We'll move forward.
Let's get right to the end here, right to the finish line.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, give me the T-shirt and the beer koozie.
Okay, great. And can I give you? I'd love to give you a pair of tickets to Wango Tango.
Yeah, my stepson will enjoy that.
Oh, that is wonderful. Well, he'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. Everybody will enjoy it. And let me say this to you.
Is 3 Doors Down playing this year?
3 Doors Down is a great band. And why is it 3 Doors Down? I asked them on the weekly Top 40 Countdown. 2 Doors Down. Dolly Parton had that hit in the 1970s. But you're 3 doors down. It's a brilliant way to differentiate yourselves.
Our time is through here, my friend. Leave me the tickets to the Wango Tango, the beer koozie, and the T-shirt.
Great. And
I'll show up on Wednesday for the 8 a.m. hour.
Yes, and please, don't just come at 8. I mean, be there at like 7:50, and I'll do the joke of the day. And then we'll have you on after we play a hit or two. Is that great?
Can I plug my inspirational tapes?
Oh, absolutely. I love God.
This is me talking.
I love you too, David.
All right. Next patient.
Okay.
I'm going to stand up.
Hey, it's Magic Matt. Hey, bud. You're here too. Don't tell Grandpa. Don't tell Grandpa. I mean, it's unbelievable.
And scene. Can we find Heine wine anywhere?
We found some here.
Stations still do honey wine.
Are they still doing it?
I believe they still sell
stations because
Yes.
of the syndicated.
Right.
Well, but I don't know if Rick started it, but he was right there at the beginning of it.
He didn't start it, but he was like the most
Okay,
notable
easy for you to
person
say.
who-
Okay, maybe I didn't start it, but don't I get some credit?
You do, yeah. You
Very
put
popular.
Thank
Put on
you.
the map.
TV channel.
Time to call and have them cater your New Year's Eve party. Here's how it works. Call the Heine Winery at 555-WINO and tell bookkeeper receptionist Ophelia Heine you'd like your New Year's Eve party catered. From there on, they do the rest. The Heine crew will show up at your home New Year's Eve afternoon, that's this afternoon, and set everything up. You get 5 cases of red Heine, 5 cases of dry Heine, and 20 bottles of that de-alcoholized Heine in the bottle with the screw-off cap to enjoy at the stroke of midnight. Picture this if you can. At 11:59 tonight, all your guests grab their Heinies and welcome the new year with their Heinies held high.
Right.
And for an extra $75, you can have a Heine fountain for your party. This way there's no messing around with those cans or bottles. A Heine fountain comes complete with a beautiful hand-cut crystal bowl and pump and all the Heine you can drink. You don't have to worry about not having enough Heine to go around. You know how a party can come to a screeching halt when you tell your guests they're going to cut off their Heine. I think your guests will enjoy grabbing a glass and dipping a drink out of the Heine bowl. Guaranteed to add a touch of class to any party from the Heine Winery, Hicksville, Long Island. I love Heine's wine.
I know it's a play on words,
Sure.
but is it even that?
That was Ross Brittain that you heard there. That was,
was.
that was Ross Brittain, and he was doing Heine wine. It's like a line. You obviously know what it is. Do you find it clever?
No,
You don't
but
and it's not. Ross is just reading it.
But also, I don't find who's on first clever because there's no center fielder named not only that. Like it's
Understood,
like
yeah. Right,
the
right.
bit. Like, there is a bit, and I talked about it. So there's a version of the bit of a bit. And I'll give you an example. Fred Willard, the great Fred Willard.
Yeah.
Sat next to him on a flight, chartered jet, Kimmel, Super Bowl, Tampa, 18 years ago. Spent a long time with Fred Willard. We took a car. We're in Houston. Blah, blah, blah. Ate barbecue with the man. He's a delight. I was thinking about him the other day.
He was a good guy.
And he was telling me that they used to do a Who's on First rock and roll bit with the Who and the Guess Who.
Okay.
And then that makes sense.
That I
Who's
buy.
playing
Right,
tonight?
right.
The
Right,
Who.
right.
And who's band? The Guess Who. I'm tired of guessing. Who's the band?
Right.
You know, yes, right. But he didn't know, or he got her, or not only that those aren't names. So the bit
Right.
doesn't
It dies on the vine.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It
Right.
doesn't make sense.
They
Heine
don't.
wine is somewhere in between that, but that's just in the who cares category.
Well, because you can grab a Heine,
But also,
and you can
Heine-
have a Heine, and
but-
you can bring. Your
Yes.
friends can come over with their Heine.
It
But Heine is a
mathematically-
name for a Heineken too, so
yeah,
it's not great.
or maybe not.
Or it's not great.
back
Well,
then, but-
tell that to my money market. I resent this. It's not great.
This is an attack.
well, it's not great. It's not great. That's fine.
All right, we'll take a quick break. More with BackSack coming back because we're reuniting. We're doing a little twist on AssCrack and BackSack, and we'll do that right after this.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Adam, Bob, Gina was in the supermarket over the weekend looking for my favorite midwinter treat, blood oranges. Couldn't find them. I asked. They've been rebranded and renamed raspberry oranges. No violent imagery. No trigger warning required. 50 years will all be chicks.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Really? Yeah. No.
You always look
blood
for blood
oranges.
oranges.
I love blood oranges.
They're delicious.
I like the sound of them.
Great in sangria.
You know, the thing is, yeah, so there's two categories. Anything racial or anything violent.
Yeah.
Those are the two
They're
that we
done.
have to go after now.
I guess.
But the thing about raspberry, they said they're renamed
Raspberry oranges.
Raspberry's a flavor.
Yeah, I love
That's
I love
true.
It is a flavor. And
So if you bought a tea and it was called blood orange tea, it would taste like blood oranges.
Right.
Wouldn't taste like blood and oranges. It would
I
just
hope
taste
not.
like blood orange.
So why isn't it?
But if you got raspberry orange tea, then that's going to taste like raspberry and orange.
And here's where I throw the penalty flag. I love raspberry flavored iced teas, raspberry flavored beverages. I really enjoy. I like raspberry sorbet when I'm feeling rather snooty.
Yeah.
I like raspberries all the time. If the effort to be politically correct enough to remove terms that people find offensive or violent or in some category like that, if it makes it tough for me to find something that I will enjoy drinking or eating, if it cuts in directly to the pleasure zone of my life, then I'm really angry.
Yeah.
The slippery slope part of it is modifying everything instead of coaching up everyone.
Right.
Which is, I'm offended by this title. Well, you should get the fuck over it and keep walking.
Which is what the heart says sometimes. You want to say that.
Because everything, if someone is going to look for it, they shall find it. And that means we need to change the name of all that is in society. I mean, we went from pulling down Confederate generals to moving boulders on the campus of Wisconsin. It's like, we will find it. Yeah. So, like, there's a way to do this. It's almost like saying, here's an analogy. You can either get your own immune system in order, or you can try to sanitize the entire world. But that's never going to work.
Right.
That is a consistent analogy.
Fucking immune system working, and then you get to pass through the unsanitized world because there's not enough sanitizer to wipe down everything, especially if you're looking for it.
Well said.
And that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, this is something I usually don't. I don't know if I think this way, but I'm thinking this way now. Not every concern is shared. Not every concern is shared by the universe. And if there's an insistence that a whole lot of people share your concern or consider your thing, well, there's always going to be people who don't want to.
Yeah.
And can't, and then they'll pretend they do, and then it's disingenuous, and then there's a lot of passive-aggressive behavior out there in society.
You also, it's like, I'll give you another example. We've all dealt with the people that have this fear of dogs, right?
Yeah, right.
And they'll tell you, well, when I was 3, I was at my aunt's house and I walked in and she had a poodle and the thing attacked me. And then we all go, oh, okay, I get it, except for you're 59.
Right.
And you need to get the fuck over it.
Yeah.
And somebody should have told you, there are certain dogs that can do this, but most are good.
Yeah.
And I don't need to lock up my lab with the tail wagging for you to come into my house because you have an unreasonable fear of dogs. And we're not doing you a service. We're simply playing into this. Like if you said, my kid doesn't want to walk to school because he's scared of joggers.
Right.
It wouldn't be, well, stop all joggers and tell the kid he's right. You're fucking the kid up. Tell the kid he's got to get over it.
And then before we can even get to know someone, hang out with someone, share actually quality time with someone, it becomes like a bonus round thing because everybody has to claim their issue first. So if you come in and say, well, I was attacked by a Chihuahua when I was 3, and you're first on the record, then everybody in the room is on alert. Terrence was, got bit by it. Oh, okay, fine. And if you respond with, yeah, but when I was 4 and my uncle was dying of bubonic plague, my puppy was the only thing that made me able to get through the day, Terrence. We're at loggerheads.
Right.
So do you have to go first with all your stuff? Hi, everybody. Just want you to know, a dog got me through my bubonic plague when it ripped through my family. And cigarettes are a security blanket, and I can't function without them. Anyone? You have to kind of get in first, log it, and then you control the remainder of whatever it is, the time together. I guess.
Also,
it's weird.
If you got a problem with blood oranges, then that would be your problem.
Yeah.
So you're a hemophiliac or you're a vampire or
Probably
whatever you are, that's your thing.
Yeah.
And unless
I'm sane,
and
so I get to carry on.
Well, right. And unless you're force feeding me blood oranges here at this event, whatever this is,
doesn't matter.
I would say just avoid the blood oranges.
Do you want to know the most disappointing fruit on the planet when you don't know what it is until you see it? Donut peaches.
Ooh.
I was like,
peaches?
I'm listening.
Yeah.
It's just those stupid fucking circular donuts.
Sounds
I mean,
like a
peaches.
fat stripper.
It's just those like Saturn
Welcome to
peaches.
stage.
Hey, there's Donut Peaches, everybody. Donut Peaches. She's going for she is as sweet as Donut Peaches. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Hey, can I jump in as we do the dueling strip club DJs?
Absolutely, man.
I hate to take care of a little house business here, but we did have that stage reinforced for Donut Peaches, right? Last time she put her foot right through the floorboard there. We went ahead and doubled up on that CDX. Good one side, 3/4 ply. All right, and we put a couple of kickers down on the ground. So I don't need another lawsuit.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you that I was smoking some smokes, man. And I got a little fire in my voice tonight. Everybody, guys in the front row, Donut Peaches is here, and who's ready to check out the hole? Everybody,
let's do this. All right, after Donut Peaches, Candy Apples is coming up here at we like to call it. We call it the busty chassis over here. It's kind of a euphemism for a big gal stripper. Now, look, we can't attract some of the slender gals that Bob's Classy Ladies getting over there, or Dream Girls, or Showgirls, or Midnight Rendezvous getting, but we get what we call sloppy thirds over here. These are some of the gals that ain't fit to print. You know what I'm saying?
So come on down Thursday night to Busty Chassis, where Candy Apple asks you not to forget your banana.
Now, listen, guys, just a rule of thumb. I know you guys all know the info, and you've read the disclaimer on the way in, but if you're going to sit in the front row, no nachos. We don't want to distract Busty Donut or Candy Apples or Peaches, Donut Peaches.
Because as Philippe, the security guard, tells you, they're nacho peaches, man. Keep your hats to yourselves and come compliant Wednesday night at Busty Chassis.
All right, now, obviously, the pole is horizontal. We had too much trouble putting the pole up to the ceiling last time. We had Donut Peaches hit the stage pretty hard. That's what caused the original construction project for reinforcement over there. So we just go ahead and we put about 18 inches off the ground, and you can watch it just kind of slide along it. Just ass first, just slide from one end to the other. Quit your grinning.
Come
Drop
on,
your
guys.
linen.
Everybody thinking up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And of course, we are diversified here at Busty Chassis on Monday afternoon. We have our evolved performance with Glenn Brule. Yeah, that's right. He's a dude. And if you're a dude who sometimes finds the time to enjoy a dude, Glenn Brule will be here Monday. That'll be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Gunty Cheesecake is going to be down in
I love Gunty.
Gunty Cheesecake's down in the champagne room now. Because we don't want to leave money on the table. We want to buy one of my Gunty Cheesecake, a sweet, sweet taste of champagne. But also, we got Sloppy Joe's on sale back there, too. So.
And by the way, Sloppy Joe joins Glenn Brule on Monday at 2 o'clock, and he is filthy, dirty, nasty Sloppy Joe and Glenn Brule. Motto, everybody, right here at Busty Chassis. Hey, down to the front row. Did you guys bring anybody at all? Come on. Make Golden Pizzas know that you're both
Now, remember, we got Sunday's Carb Loading Sunday. Come on down with the bottomless bucket of pasta. We got donut holes over here. We got bagels with a smear. What else we got going on over there?
Well, of course, Candy Apple she does have the special Candy Apple Donut Peaches Corn on the Cob trifecta shoe at Busty Chassis. Corn on the Cob, what is it? You have to be here at 8 a.m. with your money ready to find out, guys.
We have the albino heavyweight stripper Nilla Wafer coming out here.
That's right.
She only works in the dark, ladies and gentlemen. She can't take a job at a car wash.
The ultimate in politically correct live naked entertainment. You buy the ticket. You pay for the backstage VIP treatment. But what's the show about? Don't ask. Don't tell. Just bring your money Friday night right here at Busty Chassis.
We got Little Debbie, who's ironically named Little, much like you name a short guy Stretch.
That's right.
It's
That's
not
right.
Little Debbie. We got Susie Q coming out here. We got Sarah Lee. They're all hitting the stage.
That's right. And with Sarah Lee, you want some coffee? She'll be chock full of nuts on Sunday night right here at Busty Chassis. Don't forget to bring your nuts, fellas.
Now, normally we don't double up the guard railing around the stage, but we've had too many incidents with some of these gals losing their equilibrium, wearing those stiletto heels. We've had a few busted stiletto heels, and we put them all in corkies now because the stiletto heels just can't take the weight of some of our gals. Again, we don't have the gals they have at Rendezvous. We don't have the gals they have at Bob's Classy Lady. We get their husky younger sisters that are sliding by here.
We know what you need. We know what you want. We don't dress it up with all those unnecessary expenditures. No frills is the way we do it at Busty Chassis, the 99-cent store of noon entertainment.
Wednesday, we got a tribute to the great Meatloaf. The man left us way too soon. So come on in, do some carb loading, listen to Meatloaf Superset, and watch these gals tear up the stage.
And you know the meat is back, but the meat never left. Glenn Brule, Monday will be here. Glenn Brule, his tribute to Meat Everybody.
Now remember, the tribute band Twisted Chunkster's going to be out here on Thursday doing their live set, covering a lot of 80s rock and roll, so you're not going to want to miss that.
That's exactly right. And by the way, don't forget to tip Philippe and his crew. That's right, they're security. So when you lock your bicycle to the chain outside the front here at Busty Chassis, it's Philippe who's going to make sure it's there when you leave.
Now, I've heard the complaints with Philippe. You go in there, you want to get a spritz of cologne, and you want to get a mint, and Philippe is eating all the mints again. Well, Philippe has low blood sugar, people, so let's not blame the man.
And we don't want you to spend all your money on Philippe and his security crew, because Golden Apple tells us she's one apple who would like to be spoiled by you fellas. So bring everything you got, bring it hard, give it good. Candy Apple is here along with Golden Apple. It's a duo, everybody, and it happens right here at Busty Chassis, right during the breakfast show in the morning.
We got the 70s band Vanilla Double Fudge. They're going to be playing. All their hits come on Wednesday. They're doing a superset over here.
And don't miss Dixie's Midnight Runners. They're back from the 80s. Come on, Eileen. And, of course, Eileen will be here. She, of course, operates independently, but it's going to be a hot show.
What? Eileen, not her Christian name. It's what she does on stage because she's out of breath from trying to climb that pole. All right, and scene. I think we got the... Husky. I think we got the gist of the Husky strip joint that we just fell into.
It's one business that endured, though. Really, through the pandemic, you look back at your adult entertainment.
They had drive-through. They had all kinds of things.
Yeah, you have to zig when the world zags. You have to be able to do it.
I think the strip club for me was ruined when the chicks got too many tattoos.
Yeah, it's not your thing.
Not my thing.
Not mine either.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not mine either. It just gets a little bit weird sometimes. There.
And they're working. Two things that happen: the tattoos and the piercings got a little aggressive.
Yeah.
And the pole work got a little too competent.
You don't like that?
No, because when they go to the very top and then throw their hands off, I'm like, someone's going to break their neck.
Right. You shouldn't be fearing for the well-being of the performer.
Right.
I'm with you on that, by the way. And I have to say this, and I don't know if this makes me like, I don't know what this makes me, but you talk about like the heavy piercings or heavy tattoos. Look, if you're a dude or you're anybody who's in some sort of entertainment thing where somebody's like naked or somebody might be a little vulnerable before you in some way. Uh-huh. And if the look of them, and I mean excessive piercings, or suggests that they're like maybe, hurting a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just like wounded. I mean, wounded, my hands up. Wounded, yes. Vulnerable, yes. But actually, really in something that's not good, then I feel like I'm bad, and that's okay sometimes.
It's a little cry for help.
Yeah.
And I don't, that's when I'm out.
Yeah.
So toughen up, girls. Damn it.
Well, if you think about what the fantasy was she's a college student.
Mm-hmm. Right.
She's here from Minnesota. She's working her way through college. She wants to go to veterinarian school.
Right.
She's just doing this for a little scratch to make rent.
Yeah.
But the crazy tattoo flies in the face of the story that never really existed, but it's still the one we got to construct in our head.
Yeah. You don't like the Mad Max approach.
No.
You like the girl next door. And you like the dancing that's a little like boozy floozy. You don't want an athlete.
Yes, I don't like to see the rib cage and the six-pack abs.
Right.
And I think the ultimate is you want to see people you're not supposed to see naked.
Right.
And when I see the fake titties and the crazy tattoos, I'm like, you were meant to be naked.
There's nothing taboo about this.
Right. You're naked all the time.
Right. It's your primary thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm with you. When you take your clothes off, I should feel like, wow, she doesn't do this all the time.
Yeah.
Turns out she does. She'll be here at Busty Chassis Wednesday through Sunday.
All right. So.
Yeah.
We were talking about AssCrack and BackSack.
We were. How are those dudes?
Well,
they're still holding up, but there's been a format change.
We flipped.
Ooh.
The station flipped the format. But the problem is BackSack hasn't gotten the message.
Oh, no.
And neither Stacks. That's
nobody told them?
Weather.
Or they're just not
and
trying
Promo
to hear
Girl.
Well,
they're set in their way.
Yeah.
They're professionals.
I think it is what it is.
I think so.
Maybe we should be coming back off of a song or out of a song.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Sarah McLachlan or Sheryl Crow.
Sweet Surrender.
Jewel.
Yeah.
Suzanne Vega.
Vega.
Right.
It's like the last 10 seconds of that.
Right, sure.
And then I've replaced BackSack. Oh, no, AssCrack.
You've replaced them.
I've replaced
You. Who are you?
I'm Joel. We got a format change here. All right.
You want to take it, man? You're going to take it.
Yeah, hey, it's Joel. It's 8-ish.
That's 8:01 right now.
It's around 8. This is the new sound. And that was Suzanne Vega.
That's right. My name is Luca. I live on the second floor, everybody. I live upstairs from you. Yeah, I think you've seen me before.
Yeah. Going a little different direction here, BackSack. I don't know if you got the memo from the program director.
Oh,
but we're
Joe,
switching
you're
formats
the best,
a little
man.
bit here.
No, I love you, bud. I love you, bud. It's your, we're up on the horse. Here we go for a Friday. All righty. Wop-bop-a-loop-bop. The weekend's here.
Yeah, so we're doing a little more coffee house, man bun.
No, that's fine.
So a little less pressured.
Hey, Joe, man, you got a great vibe. I dig the vibe you're throwing down, man.
We got Stacks over here.
Hey!
Yeah.
Ooh, Debbie Lovato's trying to cancel another yogurt shop. Look out, Menchie's!
No, we're not playing Debbie.
What?
Lovato.
Yeah, I'm not playing this.
No,
I'm not playing this, man.
My mistake. I got another one for you.
You don't apologize.
Oh.
Hey, Stacks.
Yeah.
You don't apologize. You bring it to us. You bring the Hollywood gossip to us.
Right.
Hey, Joel, who's the office of the day today? Own it, buddy.
Okay. Anyway, my name's Joel. It's about 8 o'clock.
It's 8:03. 3 minutes after 8:57, before 9 o'clock, and that is 127 minutes before 10 o'clock in the morning, Friday.
I don't know what your real name is.
It's Friday. All righty. A wop-pop-a-loop-up. The weekend's here.
I agreed to replace AssCrack.
That's AssCrack.
AssCrack. I don't know the guy.
I'm still here.
I'm a KCRW guy.
Everybody.
I play jazz on the weekends and world music. I was told they're going with a format change. They didn't want to cut you guys loose. I said I think I could work with you.
No, it's all good, man, because I have flexibility. And I am able to work with anybody, and I get your vibe, and I respect your vibe. I got nothing but respect for what you do. And your deep roast is ready, so I'll take a moment to let everybody know that we have the Free Money Music Monitor, which is cranked up. The Free Money Music Monitor is cranked up. When you hear Stay by Lisa Loeb. Okay, when you hear that, be caller 100. Let us know the 46 songs we played just before Stay by Lisa Loeb, and you're going to win a BackSack Still Here t-shirt.
All right, well, let me just take care of a little business. First off, it's around 8.
8:05.
Okay, and we'll go ahead. It's about 8. And
it's 8:06.
Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll take callers, let's say between like 25 and 40 or something.
Yeah, hey.
Lip exercises!
We'll take one of
That's
the
a
calls.
horse. A horse is a horse is a horse, of course.
We're going to take one.
Oh, no.
We'll
You're
take one of the callers
You're
between like 30 and 50 or something in there.
47!
Well, we don't need to nail down the exact number. It'll just be-
$47.
Joel, you're right, and you're a thinker. You're a thinker. I've worked with guys in the morning over the years who are thinkers. They're deep thinkers. You're a bit sophisticated. I understand this, but here's the problem. Here's the problem. See, I've been doing this, for a very long time, and I like your bubblegum or pop music, man. I like your Mbops by your Hansons and all of that. And, hey, but I've seen this movie before. That's the beauty part. The beauty part is I've seen this movie before. 1992, there I was at WHTZ FMZ 100, like it and rip the knob off. And Steve Kingston, the big boss with the big hot sauce. Of course, he was groomed by Robin Jabba Michael Scott Shannon at the home of the hits WWHTZ.
Oh, we got a Sean Colvin song.
Sonny came home, everybody. Sonny came home. Thank God he came home because we thought he'd been abducted.
All right, anyway, it's getting near 8:30 here on the New Sound.
It's 8:28. Don't be late, 32 before 9. You're feeling fine. It's BackSack still here.
My name is Joel.
Joel.
And we got, I don't know what her real name is, but Stax is over here.
Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned it. Zendaya says hell yeah to another season of Euphoria.
Zendaya, hot damn.
We're going a little different direction here, Stax.
Yeah, we sure
less,
are.
Zendaya talk.
Yeah.
We're talking. We got
Hey, Joe.
We got a situation at the Russian border right now that I'm going to be getting into.
I love that club. You've been there, right?
That's right. There's some pain in the Ukraine, everybody. That's why we've got a dozen donuts from Dunkin' Donuts for you. If you're caller 100 right now, just tell us that you're having a wonderful time. Because BackSack's still here.
Look, Marty, we got rid of Marty St. Clair in the air. He was...
well, he had some
we couldn't
problems.
afford the copter.
No, he had some problems.
Afford the Stater Brother copter, but we got a drone, so let's just check in.
A drone?
See what the traffic's like.
Reports of a jackknifed rig at the 134.5 interchange. Use Victory Boulevard.
Yep.
Back to you in the studio.
Okay, so again, there's been a format change here. Look, I like you guys.
I like you too, bud.
you.
I like. Hey,
but
buddy,
the format has changed here at the station.
I understand that. But are you a cigarette smoker?
No,
Okay. I'm not a cigarette.
I smoke a clove cigarette every once in a while if I'm at a march or something.
I am not a cigarette smoker, but I use heavy amounts of antidepressant medication. And what you never want to do is go cold turkey. For example, if you smoke those cigs and boom, bang, boom, stop, you don't smoke them anymore. Or if you're on a lot of, maybe just say you're on a lot of Wellbutrin.
Yeah.
And then one day, just webbo blebbo, you stop with the Wellbutrin. No, man, you gotta wean yourself. You gotta wean the body. Good body. Every morning hearing us here.
Listen.
And just to stop cold turkey jars the system. And it kind of will jar those who are hearing us in the morning. We're glad you're with us, everybody.
Asshat, I just use your name. I don't feel like it works with the format. And sticks or stocks.
Stacks don't.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Shawn Mendes, you know the ID with the
girl,
mystery
just
woman.
shut up, woman. Let me tell you something, man. But before you got here, he was AssCrack. I'm going to tell you, he was an asshole.
Okay, I've just replaced the man.
Yeah,
I've never even met him.
I know you did.
I passed him in the hall.
Joel, and I have an association with that name. Joel Rifkin, the serial killer.
No,
that's what I think of. That's what the people think of in the morning when they hear Joel.
No, the people go
Joel,
off last
and I'm
names.
a wet blanket. Be quiet, woman. Be quiet, woman. I'll handle this. Now, let me tell you something. I was there at Z100, WWHTZ, home of the hits. Okay, lock it in. Z100 means music. And they kicked Sam Milkman, who was working for Bull Ride in Philadelphia. Sam Milkman.
I don't know any of this.
I know you don't, Joe, but guess what? I do. And I was there, man. You understand? And they flipped that format, man. It was not a hard flip like you do right now. A cold turkey, get rid of Sir Mix-a-Lot and play Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah.
It wasn't that, but they all the bubblegum, the smiles, the pop left the room. And of course, it became very heady, and I might say, on behalf of the folks at my not-for-profit, it became very much less diversified.
All right.
And there was a lot of group think. I'm telling you, man, you got to embrace dance with who brung you, okay?
Asshat. I was brought here to do
it's BackSack. It's not asshat. Okay,
sorry
Joe?
for insulting
Okay, Joe?
you. I don't even know what your
Joe
name is.
Rifkin. Joe Rifkin, you're a serial killer. You're serially killing all the top 40 stations.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. The Joe Bros going back on tour.
We're not playing any Jonas Brothers
No Joe
stuff
Bros?
and no Zendaya stuff. We're doing Paula Cole, Suzanne Vega,
I love
Fiona
shopping at
Apple.
Kohl's. Do we have any Kohl's cash, BackSack?
I hope
It's
we
a
do.
different thing.
I
This
hope
is Joan
we do.
Osborne. We got the Cardigans coming up. Okay.
Well, I have a good.
It's a
bit for that.
format flip.
I got some sweaters if you
Yeah,
want.
not chilly. Are you chilly?
Every time.
This is a band.
I think it is chilly. I think it is chilly in here, and I appreciate you saying that, Stacks. It's so chilly that I'm going to throw a Duraflame on the HR bonfire because I've had it up to here, goddamn.
All right. Do we have the drone? Do we have?
On the 110 south through downtown, there's a motorcycle down in lanes. CHP responding right now at Olive Garden. Get 2 for 1 pasta at Olive Garden. We can't give this shit away. Back to you in the studio.
All right.
So we're cutting back.
Yeah.
On
we're
cutting back.
We're on the service
Artie
elements.
Pie in the skies,
We're cutting.
or whatever his name was, Max Pata.
We're cutting back on
Marty
service.
Sinclair.
We're
Yeah, all
cutting
right.
back
I don't
on
know
service
why you
elements. We can't do that. We can't do that. You got to get your time, traffic, weather information right here, and you got to get a little bit of information that makes you feel as if your soul has been served
Right, so
by yours truly. And I want to thank everybody. I've made a change in my presentation. Joel, you've inspired me.
Oh, I have.
Joel, you have inspired me.
That's you.
But I received. I often don't talk about the communicado that I have with listeners that really touches me deep in my heart. But I got a letter from a young woman. She's about, well, I'll tell you, she's not 30, and she's a mom. And she said, BackSack, when you used to do the morning zoo and you'd reveal part of yourself to everybody, and you spoke of your imaginary friend in childhood, I realized that everybody needs somebody. And when I read those words, Joel.
Yeah, that's my real name.
Yeah, I thought, I can't say good morning everybody, good morning everybody, because it makes people feel as if they're part of a giant group and there's nothing individual special that says that about them.
Okay.
So I want to say good morning somebody. And
All
thanks
right,
for listening. It's Joel
it's
and
around-
BackSack in La Manana.
Okay,
Free Money
yeah,
Music
I'm sure
Monitor.
I can. It's 9-ish in the morning.
9-ish.
It's around 9.
It's 9:07 right now. 53 before the end of the program and my trip down the hall to HR.
Yeah, well, people have
do.
clocks in their phones now,
yep.
So it's 9 and or so,
Here's a problem. There's a problem. Every morning show that's hot. And I mean, whether it's John Lander in the Morning Nut Hut, and I'd like to welcome WEGX Philadelphia, home of John Lander in the Morning
They're
Nut
not
Hut.
an affiliate.
They are an affiliate.
We've split formats.
Well, I don't know if nobody's told John Lander nuts in the morning, hits all day, everybody. John Lander with those Nutcracker phone calls. They're coming up on the hour every. But any morning show that works, you've heard about Dick Deer Dork, haven't you?
Yeah, listen,
Dick Deer Dork.
Rax,
Randy
maybe
Lane.
you could jump in with
Randy
something.
Lane.
I'm
There's
so
already a
glad you
consultant.
asked. Britney Spears has a new line of bikinis. They're going to hit stores March 1st.
Yeah, I hope her dad lets her make a few bucks off of them. Hi, everybody. I'm BackSack.
The Stacks, Rax, we're doing a little more socially conscious stuff, a little less with the Britney Spears.
I can tailor. Priyanka Chopra welcomes a new baby with Nick Jonas.
Yeah, you Taylor. You did Taylor. You did
okay.
Taylor.
All right,
Don't defend yourself, woman.
It's
Don't
anyway,
feel like you have to defend yourself,
it's
woman.
coming up on 9:30 soon enough.
Soon enough. What about the intensity? What about the wappabalooba?
So 9, we're doing a different direction
I
here
know,
on the
but
new
I
sound.
feel like I'm adrift a little bit with you, Joel. Joel, I feel like we're on a rudderless ship a little bit, but I understand you're thoughtful, and I understand you're a thinker, and I understand that you're just chilling, bub. But I have an intensity that just won't quit, man. Quiet, woman.
Marty St. Clair got replaced by a drone. Maybe we could cut the...
Marty St. Clair has a drinking problem.
More drones?
Marty St. Clair has a drinking problem.
Okay, well,
and I want to say to
anybody
anybody who's having a struggle this morning, you know me, I have a very difficult relationship with food.
Okay, let's pot that mic down. Let's get a traffic break.
What
here.
Stall in the carpool
More
lane
about my-
101
Thing
westbound in Thousand
Urgent.
Oaks. Mattress in lanes 5
trying
south
to
into Burbank
Hold
causing a backup all the way
Damn,
to
what?
Sun Valley. Sun Valley sucks. There's a lot of sun, but no
This,
valley.
man.
Back to you in the studio.
Oh, wait.
All right, now it's about 9 o'clock.
Turn it on because it's minutes.
Stacks?
I got your note, and I think I can do it this time.
Shit.
Pittsburgh bridge collapses, leaving 10 cars in the lane.
Yeah, but that's and we're looking for a little more local, not
Crack
the...
it back. It crashed.
Oh, I thought it was just tonal.
All right.
She's out there with him, and he's got my mic off. Call engineering. I am not going to stand for...
Should head down the hall and talk to Kevin Ryder. See if we can...
It so bad, you know. I mean, I put up with this crap.
We can sort this stuff out.
Seattle,
yeah.
But I'm not going to suck it up in a minute.
Just go ahead and take your candle, put it in a box, and head down the hall there if you could.
I am
for me, asshat.
And that guy's douchebag.
And scene. Nice job.
We don't cotton to the format flip.
All right.
Sonny came home. Sean Calvin, everybody. She's hotter than a pistol. Sonny came home with her box of bull. Sonny came home from her play date. Thank God Sonny came home. Sean Calvin's with you right now on the queue.
All right, let's take a break. Come back with the news right after this. All right, let me hit a real quick 1-800-FLOWERS here. This Valentine's Day pays to plan ahead with 1-800-FLOWERS.com. First dibs on great deals, best selection of roses and guaranteed delivery. Don't wait. Amazing offers for my listeners. 24 assorted roses for $39.99, or you can upgrade it to 24 red roses for just $10 more. These are beautiful, they are fresh, and they are delivered on time. All the roses from 1-800-Flowers are picked at their peak, cared for every step of the way, and shipped fresh for lasting beauty. Think ahead this year. Bouquets are selling fast. Lock in your Valentine's delivery and do it today at 1-800-Flowers.com. That's 1-800-Flowers.com, right, Dawson?
To order 24 assorted roses for $39.99 or upgraded 24 red roses for only $10 more, go to 1-800-Flowers.com, click the radio icon, and enter code ACS. That's 1-800-Flowers.com, code ACS. Hurry, offer expires Friday.
All right. What do we got?
Well, as Stax mentioned in the last segment, a bridge collapsed in Pittsburgh Friday morning, just hours before President Biden was scheduled to visit to discuss his $1 trillion infrastructure bill, which includes bridge maintenance. 10 people hurt, including 3 seriously, and people even formed a human chain to rescue occupants from a dangling bus. The Fern Hollow Bridge was known to be in poor condition, according to its most recent inspection. Suddenly collapsed into a creek in the city's Frick Park. There were cars and a city bus on the bridge at the time of the collapse. Fortunately, no fatalities, but ill-timed, or maybe well-timed with Biden's visit.
Well, first thing, the guy in charge of transportation is Pete Buttigieg.
Oh.
Pete Buttigieg had a problem with potholes in Indiana. Mm-hmm. He couldn't fix it.
I remember the play during the primaries was I was a mayor and on the street mayor. I was down there fixing the stuff that impact the quality of life for the folks down there.
But he's there because he's gay, because we want the first gay man we want the first everything. We want the first black woman. We want the first gay man. How about we get someone who knows what the fuck they're doing? Like someone with a background in engineering or construction or someone who knows how to work ports or... It's a novel idea. Look, God bless you, suck a mean cock. But that doesn't mean you know anything about infrastructure.
I think it might be well, I think both of those things, I understand both those things might be true. So how about we reduce the field first to everybody who knows what to do with bridges?
Yes.
Don't come here if you don't know what to do with bridges. Okay, everybody in the room knows what to do with bridges. And among you, we have the homosexuals. We have we have the minority. We have all sorts of genders. We have all sorts of faith, schools of thought, of belief, faith systems. Yes, we have it all. We have a dwarf even. Yes. What do you know about bridges? And then from that group, we pick just whoever does best on the practical exam and, of course, the written.
I'm with you on that because this notion of we have the first is fine until we need the person to do something.
But it's right. We'll find the first is problematic. I'll go find the first.
Buttigieg took 2 months off for paternity leave after adopting.
And look what happened.
No, I understand
Get the fuck to work.
Well, but
you adopted.
Right, but he knows the ins and outs of government.
Just find some dude who ran a big construction outfit, who knows how to deal with municipalities and permits and organizations and subcontractors, and let's just do it.
Yeah. It is odd, now that you really drill down on it, How did he end up with this job?
He's gay. It's like we want everything in our cabinet so we can check every fucking box.
Well, it's okay. I think it's I think it's okay. I don't think it's okay to put someone in a position they're unqualified for, or really not that federal government, anything. You want an exceptional person to do the job.
Yes.
So that needs to be the group you pick from. Exceptional person who can meet this job description. It's interesting with Biden, if I may quickly, the Supreme Court opening that he will, and he promised during the campaign, appoint, and be the first time, an African-American woman. Okay. I have to say, and when I see Fox News, the panel, and they grumble about it, I do understand that I'll talk about me, Brian, white man in America, and that's been a pretty good deal for me. Turns out I hit some sort of lottery because I can go down to the BMW showroom and just walk around for hours. They never make me uncomfortable. I can stay there all day. So I understand the benefit, oddly stated. I understand that I haven't held the short end of the gender, race kind of stick. However, you do want to find a whole bunch of people who'd be great at the job. And then let me ask you this, Adam. If from the group of exceptionally qualified people, you pick a black woman because it's time and we've never had it, well, you agree with me, that's okay, right?
No, absolutely not. I need a white, redheaded, heterosexual Stacy Keach type.
Yeah. Oh, you did Stacy Keach type.
Stacy Keach.
Okay. Well, you did have Janet Reno. We had Janet Reno.
That's what the fucking NFL is.
Yes.
We have some teams are on the defensive side of the ball are 11 out of 11 are black. Right. And people cheer their asses off because we know they're the best 11 defensive players on that team.
Yeah, they're going to do well, and we're going to root them on. I get
they're
it.
They're there because they're the best. That's all anybody wants. And let me tell you the slippery slope of the affirmative action. First off, we have Kamala Harris, who's by all measurement a shit show. And we got a guy who's president who I don't know if he's making it the full 4. So if he doesn't,
he has every intention.
Then we have a shit show replacing the guy who might not make it because the guy who might not make it announced that he needed to hire or was going to elect someone who was black and female who happens to be a shit show. It'd be awesome. I don't mind. Go the best qualified, and if they happen to be whatever they are, then so be it. Whether it's Buttigieg or it's Kamala Harris.
Whatever
the problem is the affirmative action hires. Look, let's just make it airline pilots. I want the best airline pilot in the cockpit of that plane.
And this is one where people start to pay attention. We're not talking about some nebulous government entity. We're talking about the plane you're flying in.
There are many women who are pilots. I've flown many a commercial flight with pilots. Perfectly fine with that. Assume they're very good at their job. But if somebody started saying, well, I'm only going to limit pilots to this group, Puerto Ricans, let's say, under 5'10", would you be a little nervous climbing onto the plane, not feeling like they had the best? But here's the insidious part.
Sure.
I'll tell you really what nobody... The point that everyone is missing with all the affirmative action stuff, and it was in Biden's speech when he's saying, if I appoint someone to the Supreme Court, they're going to be a black female, because those people need to be represented. Now, that's really dangerous thinking, because whether it's the police chief or the head of the school board or the fire captain, this notion that you're only represented by your own is fucking racism. And it's scary. And this notion of like, we need someone who looks like me to represent me, that is racism right there.
I agree with you that when you factor or consider one's race, when race is considered race, I don't know if it's always bad. Let me ask you.
Now you're back on the morning answer with Shapiro.
But I don't mind this, actually. Yes. Ben, your voice is deeper. I love Ben. Yes, I do love Ben, actually. I really do love Ben. Let me say this to you. Can I just say it this way to you or ask you? I love you, guy. I love you. If you're a young person or a middle-aged person or an older person, and what you said is just true about people feel they need to be represented, we want people to feel included or represented. with all due respect, it's easy for me. It's easy for people who look like me. Well, it's not easy for people who look like me. It's good for white males and all that because we have the look of us has always been reflected in our world when we look to powerful positions across the globe. I've always seen people who look like me, look like my dad. God love you, buddy. Look like you. If you're
Jimmy
somebody
Carter,
who hasn't seen you, white female, boom, until Kamala Harris, I mean. Should all of us try to have a circumstance where a younger person who hasn't yet, whether they're in a wheelchair, they haven't seen, boom, doesn't it matter? Isn't it a good thing?
No, it's ideology. I mean, for first things first, let's call it what it is. It's not the first black female in the Supreme Court. It's the first black female who thinks like Joe Biden.
I agree.
Or thinks like
I
a
agree.
progressive.
Oh, you're absolutely
Candace
right.
Owens,
Oh, no, you're absolutely
she's
right.
not in there. She's a black female. She's not in there. So what
Absolutely.
they finish the sentence.
Absolutely.
It is, we need a black female who thinks like us, which is fine.
And you know they're going to pick someone who thinks like Biden anyway.
Everybody picks someone who thinks like them, but it's not the first black. It's black who thinks like us. It's every group, whatever, gay.
Who checks
thinks
our boxes.
Who thinks like us.
I got you.
My feeling is we need to get back to the diversity of thought. Jimmy Carter's a white guy, heterosexual, old white guy. I'm a heterosexual, old white guy. I have much more in common with the way Candace Owens thinks.
Understood.
I think much more like her and identify more with the way she thinks. This notion of you can't, it's nonsense. I think more like Larry Elder.
Yeah, he's an El Dorado.
Hey, I'm an El Dorado. Larry asked me to speak at his funeral. I said, is it coming up? I need that. Yeah, I said, are you planning? He said, no, I said, well, okay, yeah, I'll do it because I always want to talk.
I got a lot more in common with Gavin Newsom,
Right.
but I'd rather be represented by Larry Elder because I like his ideas better than Gavin Newsom. And to be
Understood.
fair to Gavin Newsom, I'm not sure if he has ideas.
I am not sure you're not right.
So it is racist we need someone who looks like us, meaning we get a black mayor or black governor or black police chief, and all of a sudden things are going to change for me because we have someone who looks like me in that position. And by the way, it never works. There's no examples of a city where they elected this and then it happened to work.
What about Maxine Waters?
It's a flawed notion. Yeah, it's flawed. And it's racist.
Here's just all I'll ask, like a fourth down end stage question. And I think we all agree. If there's an opening for any job, you've hired people. I don't think I've ever hired anyone. The first thing we do is get exceptionally qualified candidates in the room, no matter what they are or who they are within the limits of, they're not felons, right? Okay, so we get exceptionally qualified and prepared people in a room. Let's say there's 9 of them. No, let's say there's 5 of them.
Right.
Okay. In the end, the 5, we all agree very generally, are exceptionally qualified and well prepared. What then, from the group of 5, do you use as a standard, or what?
How do you split the hairs?
How do you pick from those 5? Because say you have a brown one, say you have a black one, say you have a white one, say you have a Jewish one, you have a Christian one, you have a female 1 or 2, and a male. Yes. So how from the 5? What then is the criteria? What are you using to decide from those folks? Because I think some would say, well,
how would you pick from the 5 if all 5 were black?
Well, I think that's a fair question. How do you pick from the exceptionally qualified people who remain in the final moment?
How do you pick from all 5 if all are white?
I think you pick for...
You make a decision.
Okay.
It's not based on skin.
Right.
It's just... I've hired millions of people. You do the Man Show, you see a bunch of white writers come in there. Eventually, you end up with a writer.
Right.
The premise is flawed because it's impossible to go, everyone is exactly the same.
But for the purposes of the reason they're there, if they're I understand what you're saying, though.
Well,
you make
if they're all white, you hire one of them. If they're all black, you hire one of them.
Right. If they're all...
That's how it works.
Okay.
All right.
No, I do. I understand that.
All right.
I've just never hired anyone, so I'm trying to learn from you.
I'm just saying,
right.
Pete Buttigieg is running the transportation. I don't think he's the most highly qualified for that. As a tax-paying American, I'm much less interested in his sexual proclivities as I am about infrastructure.
Structural integrity of a bridge.
That's right.
If of the 5, one of the 5 left is an African-American person, if you say, you know what, I'm going to select the person who is African-American because this office could be a little more diverse. Is that a bad thought?
No, but now it goes into a thing that nobody wants to talk about, which is I think a lot of businesses because there's a lot of wrongful terminations and race-based whatever, you try to fire that person and you could be slapped with a lawsuit. And I think it's unintended circumstances. I think a lot of people are going, I don't want to deal with this. The same way I've told many times, if there's a young, attractive woman who we hire, I don't want to go out to lunch with her.
Absolutely.
That's why we've never been to lunch.
That's right.
Young, attractive.
It's a blessing and a curse.
All right.
Gina.
Last story. One more.
Okay. And just, it's interesting. By the way, I don't think that this option is being taken seriously, but guess who has been thrown into the mix of the conversation of who could take over for the Supreme Court?
Oh, I heard. Kamala Harris.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
But she wants to go all the way with Biden, meaning I think just be president.
Which means to November.
He would only do that to get rid of her, right?
I mean, I guess.
I don't.
Yeah.
That's the theory is if he nominates her, he's trying to get her out.
Right. A woman they are taking very seriously, Ketanji Jackson Brown. Brown Jackson. She clerked for Breyer, the judge, so she might be the one, but we'll find out soon enough. All right. Well, let's get a little hot talk on Wendy Williams. Not returning to her talk show for at least another 6 weeks. Do you know her, Brian?
I'll tell you something. I don't know if it's funny, but when I was a kid, in New York, I told you earlier, guys, that I would call the radio stations, right? Okay. I used to, Wendy, before, well, she was doing weekend overnights on Hot 97 in New York. It was like a dance station at the time. She was a disc jockey. I would call up because I always had bits I wanted to get on the air. I would talk to her for hours through the night while she was, so I do know her, and that she was just, and on the phone with me on Staten Island, some kid, coming up with ideas. She would just chat with me. She was the same person that she is when she does the Hot Topics. That is her. I know her that way, and I was a young kid, but I liked her.
I knew you'd have a story about her.
I'm no longer interested in her emotional trials and tribulations.
I'm not either. Right? I'm not either. If I'm a viewer of her show, I'm not. I mean, I hope she's well. But it gets to be a bit much.
Well, I'll tell you who's going to be taking over for her in the next couple of weeks. Sherry Shepherd, Fat Joe, and Michael Rappaport. Good for him. Now, an insider says that there are whispers of early stage dementia, that she needs help to dress and eat. According to the New York Post, a lot of the stories about Wendy are true. They're coming straight from the staff. So, she's dealing with her stuff, but we'll get more Michael Rappaport. That's never a bad thing.
All right, let's bring it home.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina That was the news with Gina Grad.
All right. Whitman, you can shoot him a tweet at Brian, spelled like a human being with an I.
Thank you.
Whitman. Also, you can find me at the Brea Improv, coming up, taping 2 shows, February 6th. Bill Shatner up on stage, and Dennis Quaid as well, doing some shows at doing a show at the theater, Genesee Theater in Waukegan, Illinois, coming up, and then Kansas City. Just go to AdamCarolla.com for all the live shows. And Whitman, you always bring it. God bless you. Thanks for coming in. Until next time, Adam Carolla, Gina Grad, Brian Whitman, Alan Ritchson, saying mahalo.
Up and down, up and down, up and down. And of course, we are diversified here at Busty Chassis on Monday afternoon. We have our evolved performance with Glenn Brule. Yeah, that's right. He's a dude. And if you're a dude who sometimes finds the time to enjoy a dude, Glenn Brule will be here Monday. That'll be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.